The image of Baba Yaga has ancient roots and is woven into the fabric of Slavic mythology, myths about the cycles of life and death, as well as ideas about human interaction with the spirit world and nature. Her origin is shrouded in mystery, and she embodies both the light and dark sides of the myth. On the one hand, she acts as a guardian of natural laws and a guide to worlds inaccessible to ordinary people, and on the other, as a terrifying character testing human fears and limits of endurance. Baba Yaga can be both a wise mentor who opens up new horizons and an insidious force that plunges heroes into chaos and danger. Her versatility makes this image eternal and always relevant. It is believed that Baba Yaga is an echo of the pagan goddess revered by the ancient Slavs. Her connection with Makosh, the goddess of fertility and motherhood, can be traced in folklore texts, where Baba Yaga appears as the keeper of the cycles of nature. However, her image is also associated with dark and frightening aspects. She guards the borders between the worlds, preventing the weak and unprepared. In some legends, her connection with the coast guards, spirits, defenders, is revealed through their common function of protecting reservoirs and forests, but with a more sinister connotation. For example, Baba Yaga, unlike benevolent Baragan, could subject a traveler to dangerous trials, and violation of natural laws threatened to meet with her rage. This duality is most clearly manifested in the fairy tale Vasilisa the Beautiful, where Baba Yaga first appears as a frightening character, testing the resilience of the main character. Her dark side is most sinister in Geese Swans, where she kidnaps children and forces her servants to chase fugitives, personifying the fear of trespassing and loss of family. Her cruelty frightens with its ruthlessness, but there is something more behind it. She simultaneously tests the hero for strength of spirit and respect for the laws of nature. Baba Yaga embodies the secret knowledge hidden behind a veil of threats and trials, where even the slightest mistake can turn into the death of the hero. Her help is always fraught with risk. It requires not only courage, but also the ability to understand its chaotic, destructive, and at the same time creative nature. The name Yaga has many versions of origin. Some believe that it is connected with the ancient Indo-European root yogi, meaning connection or control, which echoes her role as an intermediary between the worlds. Other researchers believe that the name comes from the Slavic word yaga, which can mean horror, anger, or illness, emphasizing its frightening nature. This ambiguity of the name is reflected in her actions. She, like fate itself, can direct the hero on the path to wisdom or destroy him if he violates her laws. In Morozko's fairy tale, her characterization manifests itself in threats to the heroine, which, in case of failure, could lead to her death. Such details show that even her name contains a hint of power over life and death, enhanced by images from fairy tales. Her name is also associated with the Indo-European root of the unified state exam, which is associated with fire, smoke, and purification. This root is found in the Slavonic names of rituals associated with fire, such as purification through bonfires, which were held on the summer solstice holiday, symbolizing the transition through danger to renewal. In Indian mythology, where fire was considered an intermediary between man and the gods, similar rituals echo the image of Baba Yaga as a conductor between the worlds. In fairy tales, this motif is reinforced through her furnace, which becomes a symbol of fear and transformation. For example, in Vasilisa the Beautiful, the oven serves as a test for the heroine. To go through it means to survive, overcome the old, and be reborn anew. In Geese Swans, the oven threatens children, emphasizing its dark side as an instrument of punishment and verification. This aspect shows that her image not only scares, but also forces the hero to face chaos in order to gain strength. Baba Yaga is a manifestation of the archetype of the Great Mother, which was described by Carl Gustav Jung. In this archetype, the opposite forces of creation and destruction, light and darkness, life and death are combined. She resembles the ancient Hecate from Greek mythology, the goddess of crossroads, who possessed magic, controlled shadows, and could lead the souls of the dead to the underworld. Like Hecate, Baba Yaga is associated with darkness, mysteries, and magic that can not only save, but also destroy. Their connection with the transition between worlds is manifested in the role of guardians of borders. Hecate guarded the ways to the underworld, and Baba Yaga, the threshold between life and death, checking those who dared to disturb her. In Vesilisa's fairy tale, her beautiful hut becomes a place of trials. In Geeswan's, her servants and magical powers pursue children, creating an atmosphere of inevitable horror. And Frost, cold and chaos become her trials, symbolizing death. These images evoke fear and admiration, emphasizing Baba Yaga's power over destinies and her ability to punish or reward. Her instructions are shrouded in darkness and fear. In fairy tales, they involve performing complex, almost impossible tasks. Her help is always fraught with danger and cruelty. One wrong decision, and the hero will forever remain in her power. Only those who show incredible courage, wisdom, and perseverance can stand up and get what they want. Baba Yaga is the embodiment of the forces of chaos and rebirth, testing the heroes for readiness for true transformation. Her hut on chicken legs is the most important element of mythology, shrouded in mystery and darkness. In different regions of the Slavic world, her image was interpreted in different ways. Somewhere the hut was perceived as a burial place of ancestors associated with the cult of the dead, and somewhere as a magical refuge inhabited by the spirits of the forest and darkness. These interpretations emphasize the hut as a threshold between worlds, a place where life and death, chaos and order intersect. In mythological traditions, it resembled ancient graves on stilts, symbolizing the connection with heaven, and at the same time protecting from evil spirits. The phrase hut, turn to me in front, sounds like a spell that opens the gates to another world. Those who dared to utter it embarked on a dangerous path of transformation, where every step could be the last. In Geeswan's, the hut turns threateningly, ready to devour disobedient children, emphasizing its role not only as a guide, but also as an instrument of punishment. This gloomy place comes to life, standing on the border of worlds, turning any collision with it into a game of life and death. The chicken legs of the hut actually have a deep symbolism that permeates its role as a conductor between the worlds. Researchers have several hypotheses, each of which reveals its dark and mysterious essence. According to the first hypothesis, the verb chicken, associated with smoke, hints at sacrifices or rituals of purification through fire. In fairy tales, the hut, as if enveloped in clouds of mysterious smoke, turns into a portal between worlds, where every step can become fatal. For example, in Vasilisa, the beautiful smoke and fire of the hut create not only an atmosphere of threat, but also symbolize the chaos through which the heroine has to go to find a new birth. These clouds of smoke seem to hide the boundary between life and death from the hero, demanding courage and determination from him. In such fairy tales, the hut comes to life, turning into a gloomy and mysterious mechanism that simultaneously scares and beckons, offering a choice to risk everything or stay safe, but lose the chance of transformation. The second hypothesis connects the chicken legs with burials on their own, characteristic of the ancient Slavs. These walls not only protected the souls of the dead from predators and unclean forces, but also served as a border between the world of the living and the world of spirits. A hut on chicken legs in this context becomes both a guardian and a trap. In the fairy tale Geeswan's, her legs, like a barrier, represent a threshold that cannot be crossed without consequences. She threatens children who violate her boundaries, creating an image of a gloomy and merciless guardian who does not tolerate intrusion. Chicken legs enhance the feeling of mysticism and threat, turning the hut into a symbol of punishment and inexorable judgment. The third hypothesis considers the hut as a mechanism of movement between worlds, a place where the boundaries between life and death, reality and magic are erased. Her legs, strange and mysterious, emphasize her mystical nature, making you think about her connection with the ancient rites of passage and initiation. Heroes face magic that requires them to be extremely brave and willing to sacrifice themselves for knowledge and strength. Its rotation around its axis symbolizes the cycle of life, where every action can change fate. In Geeswan's, the hut threatens children, representing a trap from which there is no way out if its laws are violated. She is like a living, breathing entity, offering the hero a choice: either accept her challenges or die without revealing her secrets. These aspects turn the hut into a symbol of a fateful choice, inevitable trials, and deep transformation, where every step of the hero becomes a test of his spirit and will. Baba Yaga is often associated with the image of a shaman connecting the worlds with the help of magical rituals. Her flights resemble the practices of Siberian shamans, where the shaman's spirit travels to other dimensions. Baba Yaga requires not only fortitude, but also readiness for a complete self-sacrifice. In these stories, she is not just a shaman, but a keeper of secrets, controlling fire, wind, and life cycles. Her image is saturated with dark ambiguity. One of her words can be both a blessing and a curse, emphasizing her power over the destinies of heroes. Her abilities and appearance have deep roots in shamanic practices. The connection with spirits, the ability to come into contact with the world of the dead, and control over the natural elements make her dangerous and unpredictable. She knows the secrets of herbs and uses magic potions that can both heal and poison, and her power over fire and wind personifies the forces of chaos. In Vasilisa the Beautiful, her power manifests itself in a terrifying flame that burns in her hut, threatening destruction. These elements emphasize its connection with ancient rituals, where the shaman not only healed, but also acted as a formidable judge, punishing those who dare to violate the laws established by nature. The image of Baba Yaga is a dark symbol of ancient forces that cannot be controlled, but which can only be understood after going through their severe trials. Baba Yaga is often perceived as part of the triad of female images in Slavic mythology. Her role embodies completion, wisdom, and inevitable transformation. If Deva symbolizes the beginning of the path and youth, and mother creation and maturity, then Baba Yaga, like an old woman, becomes the embodiment of the end, trials, and preparation for a new cycle. She guards the boundaries between the worlds, life and death, the world of people and spirits. Her hut becomes a symbol of this milestone, a dark, gloomy place where the heroes face their fears. Similar images exist in other cultures. In Finno-Ugric traditions, there is a figure of an old witch who lives in the forest and protects the secrets of nature. In Scandinavian legends, it can be compared to giantesses living in wild places. These parallels show that Baba Yaga is a universal archetype reflecting fear and respect for the forces of nature and the cycles of life. In the film The Last Hero, Baba Yaga is presented as a wise mentor who helps the heroes overcome trials, and in literature, such as the stories of Maria Semenova, her image is interpreted as an ancient defender of nature. If this video made you think, please support us. Like, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment. It's your connection with us, your participation, that inspires us to create even more content for you. And, of course, we want to know what is interesting to you. Write down what you would like to learn about in the following videos. It can be a theme of consciousness, the soul, the mysteries of the universe, or something completely new. Your ideas will help us go further. Thank you for being with us on this journey. See you in the next video.